Welcome to the Wealth and Love Blueprint, where love meets logic and money reveals the truth.
Today, we're diving deep into a really complex topic: emotional manipulation in relationships. It's this subtle force, right? One that often flies completely under the radar until, well, the damage is already done. So, let me just start by asking you this directly, because according to our source material, the very first sign that something is wrong, it isn't some big dramatic fight. No, it's a quiet, constant feeling of being exhausted, of being confused. It's just that nagging feeling in your gut that something isn't right.
Okay, let's get into our first section. We're going to uncover why true manipulation is almost never about obvious aggression. It's actually way more clever than that, and it often hides behind a mask that you would never, ever suspect.
And this is what our source material makes crystal clear. The most effective control tactics, they don't feel like control at all. They actually feel like requests that are born from love or maybe even vulnerability. And that's exactly what makes them so incredibly hard to spot.
And this right here, this illustrates the real danger. It's not some single big event that breaks you. It's a slow erosion of who you are. It's this process of giving up little pieces of yourself, one tiny compromise at a time, until one day you look in the mirror and you barely even recognize the person looking back.
So that brings us to our second section. Here, we're going to explore one of the most common tactics out there, a form of psychological coercion that basically puts your love on trial. This is a core concept from our source material, FOG, fear, obligation, and guilt. It's a really powerful framework for making you feel like you owe them your compliance. And if you don't give in, well then suddenly you're the one who's failing the relationship. You're the one who's being selfish or unloving.
Our source breaks this trap down into a really clear three-step process. First up, you have the setup, just a wave of compliments and flattery to get you to lower your guard. Then comes the demand. While you're feeling all good, that's when the big request is made. And finally, the threat, which ties your choice directly to how much you supposedly love them.
So here's the crucial point. This tactic literally turns your genuine feelings into a transaction. Your affection isn't something you give freely anymore. No, it's something you have to constantly prove, over and over, often with your time, your energy, or your money. But what happens when you try to call this behavior out? Well, that's when, according to our source, the real psychological warfare begins. And it's all designed to make you doubt your own perceptions, your own reality. Our source identifies this as the #1 tool for a manipulator to escape any and all accountability. By twisting your reality, they completely shift the focus from their actions to your supposed instability or oversensitivity. It's maddening. Now, what's so powerful about this slide is how it just lays it out, side by side, your direct experience versus their manipulative denial. It is a direct assault on your perception, and it's designed to make you believe that your own feelings and your own memories, they just can't be trusted. And here are the other tools in that arsenal. You've got the guilt flip, where somehow their mistake becomes your trust issue. Then there's the classic, just joking, to completely invalidate your feelings. And of course, those weaponized tears that can shut down a totally valid conversation in an instant, flipping the script to make you the bad guy for daring to upset them. Look, over time, these tactics don't just lead to a few more arguments. They compound. They build on each other. And the result, as our source material shows, is severe, lasting damage that can just seep into every single area of your life. The source really emphasizes that the damage goes way beyond just disagreements. We're talking about a fundamental drain on your well-being. It leads to this deep resentment and ultimately a loss of your own mental clarity and happiness. You just end up constantly managing someone else's emotions at the expense of your own. And this is the core takeaway. When you strip everything else away, this is what's really at stake. It isn't just about money or who won the last argument. You slowly, piece by piece, lose the freedom to be yourself, to think your own thoughts, and to live your own life on your own terms. So, how do you get that freedom back? I know it can feel impossible when you're deep in it, but the source material actually gives us a really clear path forward, and it all starts with small, intentional actions. These steps are all about shifting from being reactive to being proactive. So instead of just constantly responding to demands, you start by creating space to actually think. You learn to set boundaries, and you have to recognize that sometimes the only way to win is to not play their game at all.
In this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. This is a crucial mindset shift. Setting boundaries isn't about starting a fight. It's about protecting your own well-being. It's about defining where you end and another person begins. It is a fundamental act of self-respect.
So we're going to end with this question from the source because it's designed to turn all this knowledge into immediate, real-world action. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about taking one small, powerful step to reclaim your freedom. So, what's yours going to be?
By aligning your heart and your finances, you unlock true growth. Subscribe to Wealth and Love Blueprint.